they have voted overwhelmingly for Aung San Suu Kyi because many people believed that she would not be able to get that sort of an overwhelming majority because 25% of the seats with serving military personnel who vote en masse, even if she would have got just majority, it would not have served her purpose. But this is a resounding victory. Even the big stalwarts of USDP have lost in the elections. The second thing is, what is important is that when people are talking that this is a transformation to democratization, etc., what the last election showed was that if we start jumping to the conclusions, we often sometimes have to repent. I think at this stage what is required is that the NLD needs to treat cautiously, at least for some time. There have been certain skeptics that it may go back to the thing, but it may not happen because Myanmar today is fairly opened up to the international community.
Right.
The presence of the international community in Myanmar is huge. And as a result, repeat of what happened after the last elections is unlikely.
Right.
But it is essential that Aung San Suu Kyi should go in for incremental changes. Trying to do drastic changes might again pit the military top brass against her, which she should avoid. And I think she has agreed that the president would be somebody else.
Right.
And if she starts clipping military's power gradually, rather than going whole hog, that is to probably bring down the numbers from 25% or to give them autonomy to vote. Because as of now, the military members not only constitute 1/4 of the parliament, they also vote en masse.
Right, but what are her remarks right after the landslide where she also said that I will be above the president and I'll run the government and we'll have a president who will work with the policies of the NLD. What does this mean? That will the president will just be running a puppet president and it will be primarily the parliament running the government?
It happens in most parliaments in democracies. We had a UPA president who would dictate the policies and the prime minister would run the policies.
Right.
But this sort of a statement should not have come from her. I personally feel this was provocation.
Okay, this was provocation. Colonel Singh, this is going to be a tough choice at this stage, that who actually gets to be the president, but much will be decided only after March 2016 onwards when military rules actually give power. But going by the history of Myanmar, and many who have said that Myanmar is actually extremely isolated because primarily earlier because of sanctions and sort of the upheaval they have faced in terms of political upheaval. Do you think this sort of a democratic beginning, democracy making inroads in Myanmar will change the very reality, very landscape of Myanmar?
Absolutely. Going by Thein Minh Tue, he says that a prosperous democratic Burma will be a game changer to the whole region. So probably the process has started. But at the same time, a word of caution here is that the Chinese have already voiced their concerns that the new setup should not ignore China.
Right.
And this should be seen in context to what a US Senator in 2010 had said, that it should not happen that Burma becomes another province of the Chinese. So the whole thing is to be seen in that light, and what Captain Alok has said, that it has to be very gradual.
Captain Bansal,
Yeah,
there are many reports that has come in which also suggest that any sort of transition, because if you go by the story of North Africa and West Asia, this sort of a transition, you have to be extremely cautious, and there has to be some sort of a compromise between the military interests vis-a-vis the democratic interest. Do you think Aung San Suu Kyi at this stage will try to maintain that balance and strike a very fine road that how she actually manages both the interests, both of the military rulers as well as of the democratic
I think
leaders?
she has to do that because what Egypt has shown, what other countries have shown is that sudden transformation creates problems. And I think so many years of having been away, because